They know us better than we know us. They know our potential, our power better than we know our potential and our power. So they want to keep that from us. If you take an elephant out of Africa and you put the elephant in an American zoo, two elephants, male and female, they have offspring. The offspring is still called an African elephant. It doesn't become an American elephant, doesn't become a New York elephant, it won't become a Cali elephant. It's still an African elephant. You take an Indian elephant and you throw the Indian elephant in Africa, it's still an Indian elephant. So I was sitting there and I was thinking about this anti-African propaganda that's being pushed by a lot of brothers and sisters claiming that they're not African. And I stumbled upon the answer. And I'm not even a conspiracy theorist type of guy. Like, I deal with just the facts. That's all I do is just the facts. That's all I'm here for. Nothing else. So if you have a conspiracy theory, bring me some facts and then we can assess it. Anything beyond that, it's like, nah. So I'm sitting there. Why? Why is there all this anti-African propaganda? I decided to go back a little. Sometimes you ever heard the phrase, you need to go into your past to understand your future. So I went back to Libya. I went back to Gaddafi. Didn't actually go to Gaddafi. Can't speak to him. But in essence, I kind of did. I went back and I thought, Gaddafi had this plan to unite Africa, all of Africa, with a united Central African banking system, which meant Africa was going to get out of debt within 5 years. And then allegedly, within 10 years, Africa was going to be in its rightful position at the top of the world, globally, global position financially. Why would that even be possible? Because you had an entire continent of 54 countries and then some, because outside of Africa, being in a position where they were all going to deal with the African gold dinar and all use one currency and say, we're not going to use the euro, we're not going to use the dollar, we're not going to use the pound. All of a sudden, this man who was quoted by the UN and NATO as being an exemplary ally was all of a sudden seen as a tyrant, a traitor. And all of a sudden, there's all of this propaganda and he's all of these bad things and they had to go in there and kill him. But when you realize that the powers that be could not have this man in the position that he was at, because what he was evoking was this African unity, this pride, which meant everybody within Africa was going to excel. So now you've looked at Libya and seen how much of a threat an African man was. Now you go a little bit further. Let's look at South Africa. South Africa are moving leaps and bounds economically because of their movement and their stance that they have taken against their colonizers, against their settlers, their invaders, and said, look, we're taking the land off you. We're not going to allow you to cheat us anymore or steal our land. And we're going to put black people in the position they're supposed to be at. Cyril Ramaphosa himself has stated that he is wary of doing trade deals outside of Africa now. He doesn't want to do trade deals with people outside of Africa. He's wary of it. Something clicked in my head and I was like, bingo. All of these anti-African movements that are coming, we're not African, we're this, we're this, we're that. We're American, we're this, we're this. I truly believe that all of these aboriginal, indigenous, any anti-African people that are now using this bullshit propaganda are government agents. Because the United States government does not want black people to leave America. And if black people leave America to go to Africa, Africa is going on a social economic rise. And the American government know this. They see this. If the government can get enough black people to believe that they are not African, then black people in the Americas, so we're talking the Caribbean, South America, and North America, feel that they have no connections to Africa, then they will remain in America and America will still have a strong position. But if Africa rises, keeps rising, and all of a sudden, black Americans, black Jamaicans, black Colombians, black Brazilians, black Puerto Ricans, black Dominicans, people of the African diaspora go, yes, Africa is the destination. So they leave. They leave the Americas. All black people, all people of African descent leave the Americas and they go to Africa. Who do you think is going to suffer? Let that go into your mind and understand now the agenda, the ulterior motive with all of this talk. We're not African, we're this, we're this, we're that, we're that, we're that. so that you don't have a connection to Africa. Because once you don't have a connection to Africa, you can't be an ally to Africa. They fear you going to Africa. Let's say hypothetically, now, I don't want anybody to feel offended by this. I know that there are people that have the skill and the know-how in Africa, but I'm using an example. Let's say Black Americans, and when I say Black Americans, I'm saying all of the Americans, South and North, for this particular example. Let's say Black Americans are the skill set, and let's say Africans are the resources. Africans are the resources, and Black North and South Americans are the skill set. Africa has all of the resources you need. They have everything you need, all of the equipment, all of the tools, everything you need. Then you have people within the Americas that may have further education, may have further knowledge, may have further abilities. And if you will put those together, what do you get? So you have the builder scenario. Let's say I am a builder, but I have no tools. I have no materials, no bricks, no mortar, no cement. And let's say you have the tools, you have the resources, you have the equipment, the materials, but you don't have the skill set, you don't have the knowledge or the know-how. So together, if we come as a unit, we can build a house because I have the knowledge, I have the skill set, and you have all the equipment and all the material that I need. Together, we build a house. However, on your own with just the equipment and you don't know how to do it, you can't build a house. And if I have the skill set, but I have no equipment, no material, I can't build a house. So the United States government knows this. So therefore, if you keep African Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos distant and away from Africans, they can't build a house together. So you look at these brothers that get large views, crazy views, millions and millions of views, saying that they're not African. And this is kind of unheard of. Really? This is kind of unheard of. In the small time frame, that doesn't happen on Black YouTube. That does not happen on Black YouTube. And then all of the pieces start to fit together. Tell Black people that they're not African. Tell them that they're American or they're indigenous to this land. And we'll push it. We'll push the views. Millions of views. You can check it for yourself. Millions of views. You've never seen that kind of thing before, have you? Not with a topic like this, right? Because they push it. They promote it. So, cherry picking little pieces of information, manipulating your mind. Because the reality is this. This is all part and parcel of the Europeans' plan. The European fears that you will jump ship because they need you. Your spending power is crazy. You know this, right? The majority of Brazil's population is African. See the agenda. See these agents. Take little pieces of information, manipulation, cherry picking information to fit your narrative and hope that some people are blind and hope that some people don't pay attention. Because you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you ain't gonna fool everybody. I've had people tell me that I'm an agent because I'm pushing the African narrative. And I thought, really? So you think that pushing the narrative that Africans are incredible, or pushing the narrative that we are African and that life and all of these things started in Africa, language started in Africa, all of the resources we have, all the power in Africa. You really think that's what white people want? Nah. White supremacy is about the belief system that Europeanism is perfection, that white people are superior. So how can a man of African descent who dismisses any rape blood within his veins, pushing the knowledge and the teaching that Africa and Africans and Black people are truly at the top? They just have to recognize their power. How would that fit into the narrative of white supremacy? Because it's a simple oxymoron. White supremacy pushing Africa is an oxymoron. That doesn't make any sense. So I've been called an agent. I thought to myself, now I've been called many things in my life, many things. An agent is not one of them. And I thought, a snitch will always try to pass on the blame to somebody else and say, I'm not the snitch, you the snitch. A liar will always tell somebody that's telling the truth, say that that truth teller is a liar. A spy will say they are not the spy and say that the person who's telling the truth is the spy. Africa. I mentioned Gaddafi. I'm now mentioning Cyril Ramaphosa. Many scholars talked about Africa finally gaining its rightful position in the world. And the very people that want to stop that will be the white man, will be the Europeans. And you got a lot of Black people outside of Africa. So your best thing to do is make them believe that they ain't got no connection to Africa. Nothing to do with Africa. Once you make them believe that, once you get them to do that, you maintain that disconnect. And that's why the government want black people to deny they're African. The slave masters, when they gave the enslaved people their so-called freedom, they told you you're not African. They said Africans don't like you. The Spanish government, the conquistadors, the Portuguese, have told the black Hispanics, the mulatto Hispanics, the black and mulatto Latinos that they're not the same. You're not the same. You're not African. And now you have a continuation now where it's black people saying they're not African. So it's pretty obvious what's going on here. So I ask you to open your mind and let all the pieces fit. What benefit can black people disassociating from Africa truly have for black people, firstly? Secondly, what benefit can black people disassociating from Africa truly have for the white man? That's when it starts to make sense, right? When you start saying, wait, what benefit does it really have for black people? And it doesn't really have any benefit. I've told you in many videos before that many Europeans and many Asians are trying to take over Africa. They're trying to move into Africa because they see what Africa has and they see the power that Africa has. They see the resources that Africa has. These Europeans have been telling you, oh, Africa's shit. Don't go to Africa. It's all mud huts and bushes and sand and shit. Don't go there. There's nothing for you. They tell you, oh, Africans hate you. Africans hate you. They don't even like you. They sold you. They sold you. All the while they say this, Asians are in Africa making a killing. Europeans have been colonizing Africa for so long and trying to make money from Africa, pushing this division. They give you a negative stereotype of Africans, all while at the same time they push a negative stereotype of Black Americans to Africans. Slavery never stopped. During slavery, when they decided to cause division between the tribes, they told the African tribes, oh, guess what? This one hates you. This one dislikes you. Then they went and told the other one the same thing. Oh, they hate you. They dislike you. Then they turned around and said, we'll give you some guns if you give us some people. Then they went to the other side to keep them fighting, to keep them divided. They started dividing Africa, putting borders, changing names, creating so-called countries, which is what they did. And once they did that, a divided people becomes a weak people. So that division meant the white man was able to colonize. And where colonization and politics could not complete the Europeans' plan, religion came in handy. I've said this before. Religion is the strong arm of politics. Religion causes division. Why does religion cause division? Because people will put their religion before their own people. And if you think that this is bullshit, think about it. Think of Islam, think of Christianity. People would die for their religion before they die for their people. So where politics and colonialism couldn't do it, religion came in to say, don't worry, I got you. No, I'm not saying religion is bad, because it may help some of you, but understanding how religion can be used. So all they did for centuries is divide Africa. And now, as they saw these conscious movements and these Pan-Africanist movements, look what happened. There's people saying, oh, they want you to go to Africa. They want you to go to Africa because, no, they don't. Marcus Garvey had a Back to Africa movement. And what did they do? They sabotaged the boats. They tell you, go back to Africa, go back to where you came from. But they ain't never going to let you go back. They'll never let you go back. And that is why they got these people pushing, we was already here with their cherry-picked information. I want you to quote me on it. There is going to be another war, and it's going to have something to do with Africa. It might be South Africa, right? And it's going to be big. I can feel it, I see it, and I sense it. And I'm telling you right now, this is why they want black people to disassociate from Africa, because they need you. I know brothers that have left the military because they said, this is fucked up. They got me killing my brothers and sisters. So what if you make black Americans and people of the African diaspora believe that they are not African? Therefore, they believe that those people are not their brothers and sisters. They can control you. They can manipulate you. They know us better than we know us. They know our potential, our power better than we know our potential and our power. So they want to keep that from us. If you take an elephant out of Africa and you put the elephant in an American zoo, 2 elephants, male and female, they have offspring. The offspring is still called an African elephant. It doesn't become an American elephant. It doesn't become a New York elephant. It won't become a Cali elephant. It's still an African elephant. Peace, love, and coconut oil.
Hey man, that's racist. Please remember that from now on, brand new never before seen videos, as well as live streams, will only be available on my website, ikyg.com, via a Patreon subscription. ikyg.com is a Black-owned, Black-ran platform, 100% free from censorship. It's the only place where we don't have to worry about what we say and expressing ourselves. Make sure you check out the description and the comment section for important links, as well as information in video form that shows you what benefits you get when you support the site and join my Patreon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe and be notified every time I upload a video. For exclusive content and perks, check out my Patreon. This is where we have private live streams, group chats, live Q&As, live phone calls, and open topics. This is a safe space where you can interact with other like-minded people, make friends, send each other direct private messages, and so much more without any trolls. And yes, you get to use GIFs and images in the live chats. So what are you waiting for? This is a completely independent website, free from censorship. If you'd like to make a donation towards the site so we can continue to put out the truth without fear of being silenced, then please hit that donation button. It's greatly appreciated. Check out the rest of the site for videos, private and public live streams, find out all the tea, and make sure to utilize the Black Money section of the website. Advertise your business absolutely free to people that look like you, free forever. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at angel_IKYG.